a very important topic, that is how we formulate stiffness matrix. See, this topic is very important because if you don't know how to formulate a stiffness matrix, you cannot proceed. Now suppose this is a step bar problem. You can see this is a step bar. Step means it is varying with cross section, and the load is suppose acting at this end and it is fixed at this end. So how you are going to formulate stiffness matrix for that? Let's see. Now suppose this is a system. Got it? This is a system, and a corner which are shown in yellow, 1, 2 and 3 are called nodes. Nodes, again I will repeat, are the corner points where you are going to define the boundary values. You can see it is fixed at this end and load will act at this end. And for simplicity, I have put that 1 and 2. This is different from nodes, don't get confused. That's why I have put it A and B. 1 and 2 here represents my element. So my system is having 2 elements and nodes are 3. Got it? Now what we have done, I had converted this step bar problem into spring based system. Means this particular system you can convert it to spring based system. So now we will give some nomenclature to it. You can see. So this is our complete system. This is element A1 or A. This is element B or 2, and this is 1, 2 and 3. Got it? And these are the parameters which has been given. A is area of cross section, E is modulus of elasticity, L is length, and K is equal to stiffness of the bar of the element, that is AE by L. Got it? Now but here it will vary. For example, if stiffness is given K for the whole system, then it is K, but it for this it will be K1 for this element and this will be K2 for this element. It depends upon the problem. Now so what we will do, for example, suppose there is a element 1. See, whenever any force acts on any element, got it, it's just like Newton's law. One will be action, other will be reaction. Now suppose if there is a force acting on this system, there will be a counter force which is going to act in any system until and unless it is free. But this system is not free, so definitely one force will act and definitely there will be counter force for the system. So these are the nomenclature, same like the previous one, so this doesn't need much explanation. So what we will do, see, this is a procedure to solve this type of problem. So this is my first element, or you can name it A element. So what we will do, the general procedure is, suppose there is an element, got it, this is our element and its corner points are node 1 and node 2. Got it? So what is the procedure? First we will fix any one node. So I had fixed this node. Got it? So this node is fixed. Now when this node is fixed and force is acting in this direction, got it? So we will see, try to understand this step. This is very crucial step. Now suppose this node 2 is fixed, this node 2 is fixed and force F1 is acting in this direction. So U1 and F1 are both in same direction. Again I'm repeating, F1 and U1 are in same direction, so that's why it is positive. And U2 is fixed, so it is going to give a reaction force as it is fixed, that's why we have given it negative. So our system will be like this: F1 is equal to K U1 minus U2. It's simple because U1 is in this direction and U2 is opposite. In next step, what we will do, same system, what we will do, we will fix our node 1. Here we had fixed our node 2, here we will fix node 1. Now F2 is acting at this end, so we will see. So if I have to write this part for node 2, it will be F2 is equal to K U2 minus U1, because U2 and F2 are acting in same direction. However, U1 is acting in negative direction. That's why I have written like this. So we are going to sum it up. For our element 1, if you see, U1 is positive as it is in direction of force. U2 is negative as it is opposite direction of the force. Now for F2, Why F2? Because it is for node 2. For F2, U2 is positive as it is in the direction of force. U1 is negative as it is in the opposite direction of the force. Similarly, this we have done for our element A or element 1. Now we will do the same procedure for our element 2 or element B, you can say. Same procedure. So I will just write down the steps and yeah, hope I got everything. Okay. So this is my element B. So what is my step? So first step is I will fix my corner point U3 at fixed. Now F2 and U2 are acting in same direction. So when F2 and U2 are acting in same direction, F2 is equal to K U2 minus of U3. Got it? Again I'm repeating, F2 and U2 are acting in same direction, so it is positive, and F2 is opposing U3, so it's negative, so which I have written here. U2 is equal to positive as it is in direction of force, U3 is negative as it is compressing the system, so it is in opposite direction. Now similarly we will fix this part. Got it? We are going to fix this part. Now F3 is acting in this part, F3 is acting in this part. So what is happening? F3 and U3 are in same direction. F3 and U3 are in same direction. That's why it is positive. However, U2 is negative direction. U2 is negative because it is fixed. So it is going to oppose the motion. That's why it is negative. So U3 is positive as it is in the direction of force, and U2 is negative as it is in the opposite direction of the force. So this is our complete system. So for the system 1, element 1, for F1 is equal to K1 U1 minus U2 as explained earlier. Similarly, F2 we will write F2 is equal to K1. F2 is equal to K1. Got it? U2 minus U1. Because we are talking about element 1 and our stiffness is of K1. Got it? Don't get confused. This is for our element 1, not element 2. So that's why I've written F1 is equal to K1 U1 minus U2 and F2 is equal to K1 U2 minus U1. Now this is a tricky part here. Got it? See, this is just like a border of India and Pakistan, you can say. The node 2 is being shared by both my element 1 as well as element 2. So I have written K2 here because F2 is being shared by both these elements. So that's why I have written K2. Got it? So F2 is equal to K2 U2 minus U3. F3 is equal to K2 U3 minus UT. Now the same thing now we will convert into matrix form. So this is the most important step. So what I have done, see, try to understand this step. What I took, K1 if multiplied by this, so it is positive term. Just I will write the whole matrix. Got it? So what I have done, I took F1 and F2. Got it? Now here variables are what? U1 and U2. So I took another matrix for this, U1 and U2 for here. Now if you see K1, this one is positive, so this one is positive. Now K1 when multiplied by U2, this is negative, so I have written minus K1. Again I will repeat. See, K1 if multiplied by this is positive. If K1 is multiplied for this one, this is negative. Got it? Now we will go for F2. Try to pay attention to this step. This is the most crucial step. Don't mug it up. See, K1 when multiplied by U1, K1 when multiplied by U1, it is negative. That's why I have written for minus K1. Got it? Here because this when multiplied by this. Why I am doing this? See, this one is my just I will write just a second. Yeah, so this one is my element 1. This one is my element 1, which we will see in the coming video. Why I have done this? This is for element 1 and this is for element 2. So again I will repeat, F1 is equal to K1. U1 means positive. K1 when multiplied by minus U2, it is negative. So you are only confused about this point. Got it? So if you see K1 when multiplied by minus U1, it is minus K1. Because why I am writing here? Because this part might represent element 1. This part represent element 2. Hope you understood. Now similarly what we will do, we will write F2 and F3. This is my F2 and this is my F3. Got it? Then U2, U3 I will just as it is I will copy. Now if you see K2 when multiplied by U2, so it is positive. K2 when multiplied by U3, it is negative. So minus K2. Now here you will get confused. K2 is into minus U2 because this is representing my second element. This is representing my second element. Got it? So I have written here minus K2 and here K2. This will be clear in the next video. So this is representing my element 1. This is representing my element 2. This is again representing my element 2 and this is representing my element 3. Hope this step is clear. So I will show you. So what I was telling earlier, this is element 1, this system. This is element 2 system. That's why positive, negative. Similarly, this is for element 2 and this is for element 3. So we got this system. Now we this is 2 cross 2 matrix. Now if you see there is a golden rule. There are how many elements are 2, however nodes are 3. So if the nodes are 3, so your matrix will be 3 cross 3. So I have written here 3 cross 3 matrix. So this is 1, this is 2 and 3. As it is doesn't have any value for my third matrix, so it is 0. As it doesn't have any value for my third element, so 0. All are written in 0 form. Got it? Because again I will repeat, because this it is not showing any value for this. Similarly, if you see here, this is not giving any answer for my first element. So that's why first row and column is 0. First row and column is 0. Again I will repeat this step. This is very tricky step. 1 and it is giving answer to 1 and 2, but third column is total, third row and third column are empty. That's why this is 0, this is 0. This is not giving answer to my first row and first column. That's why this is completely 0. Now we will move, now we will do addition of matrix. So this is representing that. Now so we have written all the matrix. This is for element 1, this is for element B. Now if we add it, this step is very crucial. See, K1 plus 0, it is K1. See, first element will be added to first element. It's simple matrix addition. It's like same caste marriage, you can tell. So 1 will get combined with 1. So K1 0. So minus K1 when added to 0, it is minus K1. 0 when added to 0, this element 3 when added to this element 3, it is 0. Now minus K1 when added to 0, it is minus K1. Got it? Now this step is crucial. You see this second element K1, when it got added to second element K2, it is K1 plus K2. Got it? Again I will repeat, this is K1 and this when added to K2, it is K1 plus K2. Now similarly we will add all the terms, 0 minus K2, this then 2 will add to this will add to this. Last time I will repeat. See, just similar elements will similar row and column designation will add. This will add to this will add to this will add to this. Similarly, this will add to this will add to this will add to this. It goes like that. So we will finally got the stiffness matrix. So this is most crucial steps. Then only you can solve the further problem, which I will upload soon. So this is our global stiffness matrix. Got it? And this is our global force and vector, and this is global displacement vector. Got it? And this is what global stiffness matrix. Hope you understood. So next video we will solve a problem based on this. Thanks.